Welcome back. So in the last video, we identified a niche for our AI automation agency, and that is awesome. Now it's time to figure out exactly what we're going to be offering to our target audience. I can guarantee you, if you don't have a crystal clear service offering, no one is going to buy. And ask me how I know that. I'm going to walk through some service offerings today that I think are in high demand right now that solve real world problems. And most importantly, people are willing to pay real world money for them. Stay tuned till the end because I'm going to share some real world examples. I'm saying real world a lot today of AI services you can bundle. Plus, I've got a link to a free toolkit that can help you do some planning and pricing. But as I mentioned about problems, try not to say real world problems. Businesses, they don't buy AI, believe it or not. What they buy are solutions to problems. If you run across anybody that tells you they've thought about or tried to do some AI automation work or tried to start an AI automation agency or a company that does something in the realm of AI, and they said it just didn't resonate with them, it's because they don't want to buy AI. They want to buy solutions to problems. And the three main problems that almost every business has, they may be on multiple spectrums on it, but every business has, is time, money, and scalability. So time, these repetitive tasks that are eating up hours for the business. Money, so not having the resources to put into doing the work, or it's eating up more resources than it should, which is eating up profit. And then last, scalability. If you can't increase your headcount, you can't increase the number of folks you have working for you, but you want to grow your business and you have a business, people-based type of business, then you're going to find that you're going to limit your capacity and not be able to move beyond that. So those are the three real problems that I see most businesses wanting to tackle, and that is time, money, and scalability. In comes you. So what's your job in all this, right? It's to figure out the biggest pain points in your chosen niche. For instance, if you're in e-commerce, the stores might struggle with abandoned carts and manual order management. A big one, and I see this all the time, is e-commerce companies that do memberships or recurring types of services. You'll see like those subscription boxes, which, by the way, I'm a sucker for. I love subscription boxes, even if I can't say them. It's a great product. It's a great business model, but those companies will tell you one of their biggest things they run into is when it comes time at the end of the month to charge the credit cards for their customers, there's a certain amount of customers that the credit card payment doesn't go through. And if you could figure out a way to automate that and allow them to collect more money without putting any extra time into it, I promise that is going to be a big, big win for them. So think about things from their biggest pain points, and then the next piece will be positioning yourself as the problem solver. So let's get specific here, right? Some ideas of services we can provide, and this is not a be-all, end-all list, and you can definitely mix and match these lists also if you would like. Number one, lead generation and qualification. Turns out every company needs to sell something, which means everybody needs leads, and they need to be able to define who are going to be a real customer as quickly as they can without putting extra resources in. So that's a good one. Content creation and social media posting. That's one of the two areas that I spend most of my time in. And that is helping companies take that content creation, the strategy behind it, and the social media posting and automate those while keeping a high quality level of content being provided to their target audience. Another, and this one is like the old school AI, the very first thing is chatbot implementation, but it's really useful when it comes to lead qualification, trying to help reduce the amount of time customer service is spending with folks or setting up appointments and those types of things. Workflow automations, while this can be pieced into all different parts of these service offerings, I'm being specific to what are those flows that people are doing today that are taking up time, repetitive tasks, data entry, notifications, sending emails, all those types of things, and then going in and using, whether you do it from scratch or using a tool like Zapier or Make or Anyden, and building with AI, these automation tools that allow people to cut out a lot of that extra time that they're spending doing tasks that really a person doesn't need to do. And then number 5 is, and I like this one, is customer or patient personalized education and plans. We talked about chiropractors on the last video, and I'm going to lump chiropractors in with physical therapists, though they have not related at all, but for the purposes of this service offering here, they can be. And think of educating a chiropractic patient or somebody that's seeing a physical therapist. And I've done it a bunch of times. You go in, they check you out, they figure out what's wrong, and they have you do work in the office, and then they give you some stretches and strength and homework to do at home. Automating that process for them so that when they enter in the codes for what's ailing the patient, having it spit out custom stretch and strength plans for them on the back end, I think you could do really well in that area. And I know from knowing chiropractors and physical therapists, it's not the number one thing that they enjoy the most about their job. So you're solving an issue, saving them money at the same time. Another good example is tutorials for software companies. They don't like to have to go through and show people how to do things or spend money on customer service. So offering a platform that the users can then use to learn more about the platform, I think is useful. I also think from a platform adherence perspective, meaning getting people to use the software more, building a system for them that allows the SaaS to go in and see where clients are using features and where they're not, and customizing communications and plans for them to get them to use more features, hence become stickier on the platform and stay on the platform longer, making more money. And a lot of companies already know they want to do this, but the time it takes and the resources to do it has been cost prohibitive before now. They just had bigger fish to fry. They want to just sell more or something like that. This, I think you can build a system for them that does the same things, that gets them to that goal that they've had for a long time, but do it more quickly and definitely much more affordably. And then the last I alluded to before, I sort of play in two areas, so the content and the marketing piece of it. And the last one, which actually has done the best for me, and that's AI strategies. Having services to help companies define their action plan, their adoption plan for developing their AI systems across the organization. They may include content strategies, other marketing, but certainly sales and customer service and finance, and coming up with a strategy of how are we going to implement artificial intelligence in a smart way? How are we going to do it in a secure way? And how are we going to do it on brand so that all of our team are working off the same sheet of music? And a quick plug here, down in the description, I have a free ebook on how to build content strategy blueprints for potential clients. And if you want to skip to the punchline here, there's also a link to my course. It's a copy and paste course on how to build those types of strategy blueprints for potential clients or for actual clients. And when I say copy and paste, I didn't copy and paste the course. Copy and paste is you just go through and you take the prompts I've provided, paste them into the tool, put the information in the client tells you, and then it spits out on the back end a content strategy blueprint you can hand back to your client. You may even be able to use this as a sort of a lead generator. It's not something that takes you more than maybe 30 minutes to build, and you can use that as a foot in the door for free or for a low cost. But I also can tell you from experience, a lot of companies are willing to pay in excess of $1,000 for it because it's something that saves them a lot of time. And a lot of time and the fact they don't know how to do it in the first place. So it gets them somewhere where they didn't know that they could get to. So let's talk about packaging. There's 3 different ways that I look at packaging services, and I'm sure there's more, but these are the 3 sort of overarching umbrella of the services. The first is a one-time project fee. This is ideal for things like chatbots or specific workflows, like you're going to build a specific automation that does something. And it's also great for a way to get in the door with a client. I just mentioned the content strategy blueprint. It's very specific. One time you pay me $1,000, I produce this document. Here's what's going to be in the document. And everybody knows up front, this is the money, this is the result they get in the deliverable. Another is, and it's a good, like I said, foot in the door and test things out with you. Another is a monthly retainer, offering ongoing support, maintenance, optimization. This is where you can start to stack your revenue and offer services. What I would recommend or recommend against, I guess is another way to look at it. Be careful about the hours type of monthly retainer. I'm going to give you 20 hours of work a month, because with AI and the smarts that you have that you're going to leverage AI, 20 hours can turn into a huge amount of deliverables, where what used to be 20 hours was very little. You can provide so much more. So I would avoid offering a certain number of hours for a certain number of dollars, because I think you're going to lose the extensibility that you have with AI and the scalability. But that also brings me to the third way that I like to price my packages, and that's a value-based pricing. So offering, I'm going to do this for this many dollars, and the end results you're going to see is this. So we're going to do this, and you're going to reduce labor $10,000 a month. I'm going to do this, and you're going to increase capacity 10% on a certain service that you offer, something like that. If you want to be aggressive in your value-based pricing and you're having trouble getting your foot in the door, one option is to say, and this, I'm stealing this from Alex Hormozi. He did a great job. He's got books on it and everything, but it's sort of providing this hard to resist offer that says, I'm going to do the work. And if you don't see X dollars of this, you don't see that, whatever it is, then you don't pay me. But if you do see it, I get a portion of it. So if I'm going to save you $10,000 a month, you're not going to pay me anything up front, but you're going to pay me $2,000 of that $10,000. And if I save you 20, you can do the math, and we work our way through it. So it's truly a partnership. And what are you out? As long as you're doing the work yourself, you're out some time in that process, but it's an interesting way to get your foot in the door. I would be careful about it to make sure we're not wasting our time and energy, make sure we're not being taken advantage of. So we need to come up with a system to measure that and make sure that you're getting paid for what you've delivered in value to the client. But it could be a high impact option. You can do value pricing by saying, give me X number of dollars and I'll give you this deliverable. But if you're offering to share in the profits, that is an option. And speaking of not being taken advantage of, making sure that we're clear, make sure you provide clear deliverables in an agreement that shares the scope of the work you're going to be doing, any of the specifics, hours that are going to be provided for support, things like that, and the tangible service that you're providing. The reason is one, obviously we don't want to be taken advantage of, but also we want to make sure that we're on the same page as the client on what they're getting from our service. There's lots of contracts online and things you can read that share exactly how to build those agreements out, but make sure you're using something that's defined mainly as a tool to make sure you and the client are on the same page together. Now, a little bit on the selling that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Remember, clients are in this for ROI. They want to get something out of it. So when you pitch to them, don't pitch features, pitch benefits. We always used to say in sales, don't be a feature preacher, meaning don't tell them all the features of what you're providing. I'm creating this automation. I use Make. It's got 72 nodes and it does this, and there's repeaters and routers, and it goes to 7 different AI tools, and they care less. What they really care about is, what is that doing for their business? Use numbers, case studies, show the ROI that they're going to get from it. Saying things like, we reduced X brand's manual emails by 80% and saved them 15 hours, man hours a week. That's tangible. That's a benefit. If you don't have your own results right now that you can go from, I get that. We all start at the beginning. When you don't have those case studies, head on over to Perplexity and do some research. Get some real results that are backed up with proof that you can provide back, and share those with the client. And don't lie. Just explain to them, this is the way I phrase it, these are some of the results that we're seeing in the industry right now for companies that are like yours. And so they understand you're not saying you did that, but if done correctly, these are the results that people are seeing. And make sure you highlight the time to results so they know from when you get started, when are they going to start seeing those results. And similar to the case studies, also testimonials. So if you have folks that have gotten results, then providing that information back to the client is a great way. If you don't, and again, we all start off at client number 1. If you don't have results, offering a quick demo or a free audit to their services, I think is very impactful and a great foot in. Mentioned the content blueprint strategy, the content strategy blueprint before. That there's the reason that we even put it together as something that's repeatable, is to use that as a foot in the door and show folks what we can do and what kind of return they can get from really a small amount of money up front. And you may choose to give that to them for free as a way in the door also. So those are the ways that we look at packaging and pricing and putting together our offer to show value to a client, to get them interested and retaining our services. In part 4 of the series, we're going to talk about how to market those services so that you can get your first paying clients. So if you're ready to turn your offers into actual cash, be sure to tune in. Make sure you click like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on that next video in this series where we're going to break down the fun part, how to acquire clients.